There you are. Hello, and welcome back to Norse Prospectors. As you can see behind me, I have a lot of wire rope. And today I'm gonna show you how to make a boulder sling. So, after struggling with big boulders while I'm dredging, I decided to make a boulder sling. Not a big one, but it should also be easy to handle by myself. I decided to go for a 10mm wire with fiber core. I choose fiber core because it's easier to work with. It's a little bit softer, easier to bend. The steel core is very stiff, so I'll try to make a small boulder sling with fiber core wire rope. So I just get the parts and we'll get started. So much easier when you have the equipment. So what I've done now, I've cut myself 4 pieces of wire length. 2 pieces are 3.3 meters and 2 pieces are 2.3 meters.
So this is how it looks now.
The one on the top is 3.3 meters and the one on the bottom is 2.3 meters. So what I've done, I marked it in the center in 165 centimeters, and I have 25 centimeters between the next. It's 2 on each side of the center. I would recommend you to use copper ferrules. They are more convenient for this kind of use. I use the aluminum ferrule. It's a little bit cheaper, but they break easier for this kind of use. If you're gonna make the boulder sling in the field, I will recommend the iron grip. They cost a little bit because they are certified for lifting, but you can also use the regular wire clamps. So since I do this for a living, I have unlimited access for parts to make the boulder sling. And I just prefabricated one of the sides, so I'm going to show you how it looks. So this is how it starts to look. See, I can use 9 ferrules, 5 in the top and 4 in the bottom. Right here between number 1 and number 2 there are 25 centimeters. And the opening between the wires here are 15 centimeters. I have about 20 centimeters to this end, and the longest end will just be whatever it will be, because the longest one is measured from the center. Here's the center of the long one, 165 centimeters, and I have 25 centimeters to center and 25 centimeters to center here, and the same on the other side. So this is how it looks prefabricated. And I have one more side, and I will show you how I do it. Okay, so we are halfway there. Pre-fabricated two of the sides. So when I flip them over, they should be almost the same. This is not a beauty contest, so we'll see how it turns out. There are both sides pre-fabricated. And I flip them over on top of each other. Should look. So what's next now is to take the center rope. You can see it. If you lift it up here now, we should thread it together with the last rope, and it's ready for the swagging machine. And I almost forgot to tell you that I used ferrule number 11 on a steel wire rope, 10mm with fiber core. You can use ferrule number 10. I choose to use number 11 because I have a little bit more room to move the wire rope while I'm pre-fabricating. But you can use ferrule number 10. So that's what I'm set up with here now. I'm using a small swagging machine. It's just a 25 tons swagging machine. I have a 600 tonner here, but it's too much work changing swagging dies. So I use a small swagging machine today. So I'll wait to press the one at the end, because now I have the room for adjustment, so I can adjust this as I want. And you also have to remember, if you do use ferrules, you have to cut off these edges, because they will tear your fingers. You start bleeding and it's starting to get messy all over. So that's next now. Okay, so here is where it's getting a little bit tricky. So I want you to pay a little bit attention, so you can do this right. If you use the iron grip or the wire clamps, it's no problem, because then you can undo it and do it right. I can't, because I'm pressing the ferrules. So pay a little bit attention and you see what I'm doing. Okay, I have just cut the middle rope. I did cut it in 3 meters and 55 centimeters. I hope it's enough if my calculations are correct. So the next thing is, you have pre-fabricated the two sides, and you just lay them on top of each other. Yes, one side and the other side on top. And now you have loose ferrules on each turn here, and that's the way it should be. Just lay it on top, and you take the middle rope and you start threading it, and you want to thread this all together now. So I hope you can see this. It's a little bit tricky. I'm shooting this alone today. And you just start in one end, and you take the the middle rope and you just take it all the way through, almost. Just put 10 centimeters or something left in the first ferrule. Just start threading it through the first ferrule and you put another ferrule on. And through the next ferrule, always on the top here, you take the bottom side after. Just pull the wire rope almost through. Just leave about 10 centimeters at the end, 10-15 centimeters. That was the second ferrule, still on the top side, new empty ferrule. Through the next ferrule on the top side. New ferrule. And through the last ferrule on the top side. The distance here, it's not so important right now. You just thread it. Okay, so you start on the bottom side and just flip everything over. It's much easier to work. So you start on the end and start threading it all the way through. But then you take the ferrule through the first one that you put on the last ferrule you put on. Take it through that. Try to show you. So it will start to look like this. All the way into the first and down to that ferrule. Just tighten it a little bit. And then you have the next ferrule on the turn. Put it through. And you go down to the next ferrule, to the side that lies on the bottom. You don't put another empty ferrule now, because you already did that when you did the first side. And then next ferrule on the top. You go down to the first empty ferrule you put on when you started threading the middle rope. And then up to the left ferrule, the last ferrule on the top side, and you get it through. So, now everything is threaded. Now we have two ends. They have to be swagged together. So I'll just remove the tape here. It's easier when you use a little bit tape because the wire won't fold up. Yes. So at the end here now, I put on one ferrule. And when you use 10mm wire and ferrules, you have about 1 centimeter outside the ferrule when swagging. I'll put the other end in opposite way, like this. And I will press this ferrule first now, so it's complete, and I can adjust all the other masks here. Yes, so now I'm finished swagging all the ferrules. It's a little bit tricky. It's a small swagging machine, but yeah, that's today's workout. So now we got ourselves a boulder swing. We're nearly at the end. This is how it looks now. It's all welded together, as you can see. But there is still something remaining. You remember the end that I didn't press? I made it a little bit longer so I could adjust it. I have now about 20 centimeters. I'm gonna cut this 1 centimeter outside the ferrule on each 4. So I'll get that done now, and at the end I will put on some timbals and a master link, and it's ready to go. Okay, so what I've done now, I got 2 master links, 2.7 tons, and 4 timbals. But I had to open them to get them into the master links, and I'm gonna put them on. Just open them a little bit, and there's the master links, and just put them on. And I'm gonna swag it on the ends here, and then it will be ready to go. Yes, I'm finished with the Boulder net, and I think it turned out pretty well. So the wire rope I used, the 10mm with the fiber core, it has a minimum braking load about 6.6 tons, I think. And when you press it with ferrules, you have to take about 10%. So we're down to 5.9 tons in maximum braking load. And if you double up like this, you can multiply it by 1.4. And I think we have a minimum braking load of 8.1 ton or something. And if you have a safety factor of 5, you have a safe working load for about 1.6 tons. So it's no problem pulling out the big boulders. So I hope you had pleasure watching this video, and if you have any questions, just just ask away. I hope there's more to come. So thank you for watching our channel. Please subscribe our channel. We appreciate every subscribers. And until next time, have yourself a nice evening.